Let's look at for each in list. You've seen me several times in previous videos iterate through the sequence of ages of people that have come to my party. I just say for each int age in my party ages, console right line age, which isn't a bad approach. That's pretty typical. You can see we've printed all the ages here. There's actually a built-in for each on the list that I can say my party ages dot for each. For each takes an action. Action is a delegate that returns no value. Its action returns void if you want, and we're going to take an int here because we're storing lists of ints. So what for each will do is pass each one of these items to the action or the method that I passed to for each. I'm going to use the shorthand, and in this case I can just say console write. Oops, cannot unload app domain exception. I want to say console dot write line. I'm not going to put a parenthesis at the end of write line because I'm passing this method sort of as like a first class object into for each. And if you watch my delegate videos, you know I can pass a method where a delegate is expected, and you understand how that works. Control F5, you can see I get this exact same result. All the ages are printed out here because for each iterated all these items one by one and passed each one of them to console write line. Now if I want to vary this and I want to put all the items on one line, I could change this to a console.write. But when I control F5 that, you see it looks like one contiguous number instead of separate ages. At this point I have to take over and do my own method here, which I will just do in a lambda expression and say console write age plus a space out here. Control F5. You can see now, oops, now we have our ages with spaces in there. You've seen in previous videos how lambda expressions are just converted to normal methods. Go review those videos if necessary. Let's do a for each on the version of the list that we're building here. We'll come here and say public void for each. I believe it's a capital E. Yep, capital E. Control Shift U. Each. Take an action. That action will take type T. In this case, we're using ints, but we could pass any type we want there. And I can't remember what they called their argument. I guess just action. Action. Very simple. Now in the last video on true for all, I did this for int I less than count. Totally appropriate. Or I could rely on the IEnumerable methods we explored in previous videos and just say for each T item in this action on item. And that's all there is to doing a for each. We just simply wrap the for each inside this for each method. And if you're scratching your head saying, why don't we just do the for each out here, you're probably correct, because this seems like a little bit of overkill. But now I can change this and say me list, Control F5, the code still works. We print the ages like so, and I can also do that other trick where I said console.writeLine. Without the parentheses, I'm passing the method to be called into for each here. Control F5, and it works appropriately. Let's go back to the lambda expression version here and just trace through this so you can see what happens. F10, 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 F11 for each T item in this. Item will be 35 because 35 is the first age in our sequence. Action item, action refers to this lambda expression here. So when I hit F11, you can see we step into this method right here. Age is 35. Let's write age plus a plus. In the background here, you can see there's 35 plus a little bit of white space. F11, F10, step over the IEnumerable details. The next item is 39. F11, age is 39, and we print 39 like so. So there you go. That's for each with C# list.